to go on and get started with this. How are you guys doing? Let me just go on and get started, and then probably we will go on and hi, how are you doing? I'm so happy to have all of you with me. Hi, myself Sufi. I am the founder of PandasAcademy.ai. I have been working with one of the projects which will go on and help you for next 12 months to 1 year. Correct. Let me just go on. Yeah. So how are we going to go on and work around with and what all are the things? So so let me just so now over a period of so let's go on and let's get uh, I'm getting echoes. Uh, One sec. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's go on. Can you all hear me? So now, yeah. So now, what are we going to go on and do it? I'm hi myself Sufi. I have been helping a lot of hi myself Sufi. I have been working on one of the projects which with me and my team has been working for past 6 months to go on and to help you to get started with your next job interview. So just think over it that if you think you are not ready to go on and to get started with your uh, next analytics journey, you have been going and getting started with a lot of just hold on, let me just go on and you could yeah. So thank you so much for joining myself, Sufi. I'm a founder of Partners Academy. I have been working with my team for one of the products which I have want to go on and talk about it today. But before that, I'm very excited that I just want to give you a small update. I have recorded my first conversation with my one of my learners way back in 2022, where I helped her to go on and to get started with their data science journey, and she will be and I will be posting that particular video soon on LinkedIn and YouTube as well. So I want all of you to go on and check it out. She has shared the insights how we have been transitioned from place A to data science, and then from data science to working in a product based industry and product based company, and how the mentoring helped her. So, myself, Sufi, I have conducted 5,000 plus mentoring sessions from multiple learners. I have catered around 3,000 learners. I'm a data coach. I mentor learners to be the job ready. Now, what does that particular thing means? So now how many of you have been applying for jobs and not getting interview calls? How many of you does not know that I have done a lot, I have a skill set, but I don't know why I'm not able to go on and land an AI interviews? I am someone who has been doing 10 projects, but believe me that whenever I go in an interview, I could not go on and deliver those particular things. I want to go on and work with the companies who has been there in Abu Dhabi, Dubai, or even in California, where I'm currently based in. How should I go on and prepare for those companies so that it would be helpful for me to go on to get started with my AI and analytics journey? So that's where mentoring comes in, and I have built a platform where a lot of learners can go on and choose a desired mentor, and they can book their mentor and get start working on that. More on that a little later on, but before that, let's come back and try to understand why do we need mentoring. So one of the things which is really important is when someone applies in any of the interviews, when someone wants to go on and get started with their analytics or AI jobs, their resumes are getting failed or their resumes are not getting shortlisted. Every time you go on and you get that, I have been getting a rejected emails. Why does that happen? I have been working on my book, and I will take it out a chapter from my book and put it up, that I feel there are three ways where your ATS can go wrong, even though you have a good ATS score, but still it is difficult for a lot of you to go on and to land an interview in AI and in data analytics both. Now, why does that particular thing happen, and what is basically the turnaround? So, for an example, ATS have a your resumes go into three different directions. One is first they go on and check the ATS filtering. Second, they go on, they do check the role mismatch. Third, they go on and they talk a lot more about human attention. Now we will talk a lot more around this, what exactly these three things are. So for an example, I do get a lot of these things during my mentoring session, that I have very good ATS score, but I am not getting interview calls, Sufi. All the ATS platforms, I don't want to name them, but I have gone there, uploaded my resume, and I'm not getting it. Why? What do you guys think? What could be the reason? Have you guys tried to figure it out? You might. The first prompt would be nowadays. You go. I will go put it up on GPT, and then GPT will go on and give me the clarity. I did that as well, but still I'm not going and getting it. The reason behind that is try to understand. ChatGPT is basically the amplifier of the kind of knowledge which you put in, or in that way, any LLMs. So if you are going and you're working with ChatGPT and asking them for some answers which is beyond their expertise, I think that would be something which is limited to. Now, other than that, you can go on and you can do a web search as well. You can go on and you can do a lot of algorithms. One of the things which is really important to go on and to work around is basically ATS does not only check the keywords but checks the patterns. Now, what does that particular thing mean? So, for an example, I have worked in a clustering algorithm, and if I will go on and if I'll put, I have built clustering for XYZ problem or XYZ model for XYZ thing, it will give you a good score, but it might not grab the kind of patterns which it is looking out for. Now, what could be the pattern? So, for an example, I build clustering algorithm to solve the particular problem, and with that particular problem, we have raised 20% of profit for the client end. Now, over here, it is basically going and giving the complete understanding about what exactly you want to go on and do, and how are we going to go on and get started with. This is what ATS course looks into. That is one of the major insights which I always go on and share it during my mentoring sessions. Now it could be different. The framing of that particular sentence could be depends on the kind of mentor you might be working on. But this is something which I always go on and check during my mentoring sessions. Now, what is second thing? Second thing is basically patterns mismatch or role mismatch, I always say. Now, what does that mean? In your resume, you have put it up data analytics, machine learning, deep learning, AI engineer, everything what you can think of. Generally, this is basically what learners do when they want to go on and get apply for all the profiles in analytics, because they feel in analytics only five skill sets which are important. They think SQL आना चाहिए, they think Python is good, they think Excel, and they think statistics. That's it. And I have built a project and I will go on and I will apply. That's the reason I put it up all the keywords: machine learning, data analytics, etc., business intelligence, business analyst, and all those things. This is where things goes wrong. When you start with the wrong profile, you ended up frustrated after 1 or 2 months after joining a company, even if you go on and clear that interview. The reason behind that is, if you want to go on and work with analytics, and if you want to go on and work in data analytics and you have put it up machine learning, you might be prepared and you clear that particular interview as well somehow. But that would not be an ideal profile for you. And that is where, with ATS score, with pattern matching, you required a clear cut role definition, role defining role. What you need a particular way to define your role. I think this is something which is really important. Now, this is the second one. The third one is basically when the human intervention comes. Now, what does that human intervention comes? If what does this meaning about all those things? I'm like, hold on. I did end-to-end ML projects. End-to-end ML projects. I did multiple, I did multiple ML projects. I did multiple data analytics project, but and I helped the client to achieve their desired outcomes. And I'm like, okay, that's quite good, but you develop the model, you deploy the model, and now you maintain the model. That's what ML engineers do. But what if I will go on and I will tell you the interviewer which you are going and applying for jobs, they are looking out for how much problems, what kind of problem you have solved, what assumptions you have taken into the consideration, and from those assumptions, how did you go on and clean the data, whether the data was structured, unstructured, semi-structured, or it is basically a lot more around that. What kind of problems you have been solving. So if you guys are not aware about the problem and how it is going to go on and impact the client, I think this is something where you guys might go wrong in the interviews. Correct. And this is something which you guys need to go on and talk about. And that is what I have discussed a lot more in detail. And when I talk about a marketplace like pandasacademy.com, where every learner will go on and work with multiple mentees, uh, multiple mentors, and the mentor will go on and work with all those particular things, which is basically clarity, positioning, and judgment, so that you guys can go on and the kind of roles which you want to go on and get started in 12 months, it will club into 3 months. And over here, you will get to find a lot of mentors who has been working with a lot of big tech companies, and they will go on and they will help you to get started with your desired outcomes as soon as possible. And that is the reason mentoring exists under the HUD of Pandas Academy, where we help the learners to get started with their dream analytics and AI profiles as soon as possible with the world class mentors which we do have. And I have been a mentor by myself. uh, I have conducted around 5,000 plus mentoring sessions, catered around 3,000 learners. I have been a data coach. I teach deep learning, machine learning, data analytics with multiple platforms. But I always feel like the one-on-one mentoring which everyone get needs to go up. The reason behind that is I want everyone to get clarity. I want everyone to get positioning, and I want everyone to get judgment. Correct. So with that, I want to stop it over here. Thank you so much for joining. Uh, if you really want to go on, and if you are not able to go on and understand what exactly did you want to go on and do that in next 3 months to get start to become job ready, after doing a lot of courses and having a lot of skill sets, and even in an industry for past 5 years, correct, go on and book a clarity session uh, on pandasacademy.ai. I will put it up a link in the comment so that you guys can go on and work around with that. So with that, thank you so much for joining on my 10th day of LinkedIn Live. I hope to see you in next couple of more days. See you in the next live. And if you guys have any doubts, anything if you're struggling with, even though if you don't have a time, you can comment where you're struggling with. Team will reach out to you and they will help you out with. So with that, thank you so much for joining. I'm super duper excited to have all of you again. We will soon be posting the interviews which we will be having with our learners so that you guys can get more clarity around that. Remember that the mission is only to make you job ready and make you feel like, okay, you are not alone. There are a lot of learners who get a lot of clarities around, and yes, you required a lot of attention and you required a lot of mentors. So yeah, with that, see you in the next live. Bye bye. And let me know how's my lives are. If you're enjoying it, if you're watching it, I want all of you to go on and comment, and share it if you feel like with anyone. If you want any summarization, go on and put it up, comment. I will go on and I will help you out with that. Thank you so much. See you in the next life. Bye bye.